Sable is a poor orphan boy without memories from his past. As the son of the strongest magician, Sable was born with unlimited magical power, making other witches hunt him and his mother down. To absorb his power while still a little boy, Sable was forced to watch his mother's demise at the hands of a witch. As a result of the trauma, Sable sealed all his memories. Then became a homeless kid until he met a strange woman who allowed him to join the Magic Academy and become the strongest magician at the academy. Sable is a loner boy who doesn't have any friends. Furthermore, he's also the worst student because he cannot control magic. One day, he's invited to the headmaster's office, where she tells him he will go on a mission as part of a special program in a new witch village in the south. The purpose of the mission is to provide a community where witches can be normal without the fear of being hunted by witch hunters. She explains that he will be under the care of a supervisor for the next 3 years who will judge his progress. If he passes, he will officially become a witch, but if he fails, he will lose all of his memories of magic and the time he spent in the Adam turns him into an empty shell who doesn't have any memories before that. Sable is sad at this pronouncement but sets out on a mission with some others. Their escort is a witch named Lou who wields a powerful staff. The smartest student in his school hoard a beast fallen named Kudo, and 2 other male students. The teacher allows them to split into groups even though she considers it dangerous, and they finally leave the academy. Sable and Hort follow Lumen decide to rest in the next city, and suddenly the 2 other students appear and inform Blue that they were attacked by some witch hunters and Kudo Rana. Leaving the other 2 behind, the teacher decides to run and save Kudo after quickly realizing he did that to attract the hunters' attention and save his colleagues. The teacher heads her way to save Kudo while ordering the rest to stay behind in the inn, but Sable and Hort decide they must help her to save Kudo and depart. After her, the 2 run into the forest and find footprints and Kudo's tail. Port ends up warning Sable that they will be facing a dangerous opponent. Wicked mercenaries who hunt witches and won't stop until they're dead. Revealing the story that she was once threatened by one when she was a kid and lied about not being a witch to escape, they start shouting for Kudo's name while moving through the forest, alerting everyone about their presence. Lute, who was fighting against the hunter, ended up being thrown off after hearing their voices, and the hunter took advantage of her distraction, then headed to the duel location. The hunter catches up to them and starts strangling Sable, threatening to kill him unless Luhan's, her magical staff to him flew, ends up complying in the hunter orders for to tie Lu. Revealing that she's a spy for the anti-magic faction, but she starts to show her inner conflicts as she remembers the moments she spent in the city and the conversations she had with Sable, who smiles at her while saying it's okay. She suddenly gets up and uses Kudo's tail as a sacrifice to use her magic and attack the hunter. The hunter defends her attack and approaches Horto/her at that same moment. Here's the staff telling him to use it. Luz shouts at Sable to stop, as anybody who touches the staff other than her will die. His eyes start to glow and the staff starts to release an immense power upon being touched by Sable, defeating the hunter. Sable later wakes up and finds that everyone is safe and sound. He asks Lu why he isn't dead, and she replies that the staff couldn't absorb his infinite magic power. The next morning at the inn, Blue prompts Sable to use his infinite magic to regenerate Kudo's hands and tail. As they were cut off in the fight against the hunter, he agrees to help with Lu's guidance. He holds Luhan's and she channels his magic while Kudo chants the incantations, making his hands and tail grow back to everyone's delight. They then depart for the village, and on their way they find a young boy running toward them and telling them to hide. The boy holds Lu's hand and takes them to A3 while casting a magic barrier to hide them. Soon a white tiger mercenary comes searching for them and destroys the barrier with his sword. Lu tries to fight him while the others run for refuge. The mercenary notices Lu's staff and decides to accept defeat. He walks away but tells her that he will be back. Group follows the young boy named Leos into the village, where he tells a man with a blindfold that they are his saviors. To their surprise, the man tells them that he is aware of their mission, but explains that the supervisor of their program ran away from the village when an invader witch appeared, making it impossible for them to even start their mission because there's no supervisor. The others wonder why the headmaster sent them on the mission, since she is aware of this. Sable tells them that the 5 students she sent for the special program are all problems for her at the end. And this must be her way of getting rid of them. They are all angry that the headmaster is deceptive with her true intentions. As they were deliberating on what to do, Blue says she wishes to kill the invading witch of the village and the headmaster for making a fool of her. Sable proposes that they use his infinite power to fight because he cannot afford to be expelled if he's ever expelled. He will remember nothing as his only memories will be erased. Port runs out in tears after hearing Sable's words that he would choose to fight to the death instead of running away. He starts looking for her all over the village but never finds her. He then tries to ask Lou and Kudo for help, and the teacher uses her staff to track Horden to a cave. Along the cave, Lou notices a pool of blood and Kudo decides to run away as he doesn't want to die, leaving Sable and Lou to fight the mysterious switch inside the cave. Inside the cave, Sable and Lou encounter the young lady who invited him to join the academy. Zero, witch with the same eyes as him, which his mother always said for him to avoid. She's the witch of the village and supervisor of their field program. Zero insults Professor Lewin tells Sable that she has been waiting for him. She fights off Lewis' magic and knocks her off. She tries to convince Sable to join her, but he refuses. Suddenly, Zero casts a bright light on them and they vanish into another place, who wakes up and reveals that they were being tested. And Horde excitedly runs in, congratulating him that they passed the test. Zero explains the need for the test. They initially agreed to expel the 3 of them, Kudo, Horton, Sable, from the program. Their talent to become witches is too great, and they feared they could turn into evil, putting the whole world in danger. Sable's magic is limitless, and its extent cannot be predictable by anyone, but his powers will only come to light if he trains fiercely and utilizes them. Sable asks her if she is the one that enrolled him at the academy, but she tells him that if the memory is important, right, he will know. Later they receive letters from the academy confirming them as program students and their new mission, which is an assignment to the witch village with the removal of the restriction that forbidden them from using magic. 2 months later, Sable reveals the true mission assigned in the village. Each of them must run their own shop to improve the witch's quality of life. Port runs errands. Kudo works as a medical assistant and Sable refills everyone magic power. Sable holds a conversation with Lou, telling her how living in the village has been, but she scolds him for doing the laundry and cooking for the house instead of training, and sends him to the forest to get some tea leaves. He meets Leos on his way to the forest and the little kid offers to be his guide, but he later confesses he tricked Sable because he wants to hang out. Sable forgives the boy and a mouse leads them home, where he seeks permission to explore the forest with the boy. The next day, Sable meets Lou while he was heading back home and she informs him that the tiger mercenary got injured in his last mission and needs healing. Sable runs inside and refills Zero magical power in order to save the Tiger Man. In the next day, Lou tells the group to take the day off from their work and train with Zero. At the training, Sable converses with Zero and as she trains Horde to channel her magic, Zero becomes weak and almost passes out. She reveals that her magic is depleting, and Sable is unable to recharge her magic, which saddens him. Leading her into the house, he watches over her until she regains strength and he begins to question her. If she knows his mother, she reveals that she doesn't, but she reveals to know about his father. Zero tells him that his father is the strongest sorcerer in the world and the author of the book on medicinal magic that she refers to him as a powerful sorcerer, common with unparalleled talent. But in order to hide his knowledge from other witches, he wrote a book, unreadable, with terrible calligraphy. Sable says that the handwriting is similar to his and that he can easily understand the writing. Sable once again apologizes for his inability to recharge her depleting magic, and Zero tells him to think about what he would like to be, either a magic supplier or a mage, so that will enable him to learn properly. On the next day he goes into the forest with Leos in search of medicinal herbs. While moving around the forest, they are attacked by a monster they did not see. The monster shoots and stabs Leos and Sable with many barbs. Sable is unable to heal Leos with magic and blames himself for not practicing magic. Sable carries the unconscious Layouts until he finds Zero and Lou to help him save the kid. After returning to the village, everyone gathers to discuss the new threat. Lou reveals that it is a monster called the Remnants of Disaster made by demons to torment and attack humans during the war. Sable finally gets the motivation to train magic and tells his friends that he is ready to use his powers as a mage. He tries to persuade them by telling them that if they train him, he will replenish their magical power whenever they need it. During the conversation, Leo's father interrupts him for a discussion. He tells Sable to stay away from his. But Sable wants permission to take Layout again once he is strong, as he made a promise to take him on an adventure where Labels can watch him practice magic every day. Leo's father reluctantly agrees on the condition that he will teach Leos how to stay safe in the forest. As they depart from each other, the witch hunter mercenary from before appears and abducts Sable. As he is being taken away, Sable starts to remember his sealed memories and how his mother passed away. Horde and Kudo suddenly arrived. Save him because Leo's father informed them that he was abducted by someone or tries to cast her magic, but she's too slow and the witch hunter uses the opportunity to defeat them. As he leaves them on the floor, the blindfolded man arrives and chops the hunter's arms and legs. Everyone gets back home, and Sable apologizes to everyone for being unreliable later. Sable tells Horde about regaining his memory and how Lou made him know that Horde is in love with him. He tells her that he thought regaining his memory would make him know things, but he still does not understand what it means to have feelings for someone. He's only sure of two things. Horde is special to him, and he has romantic feelings for Luke. Port then attempts to replenish her magic by touching his hand, but he takes his hand away in fear of hurting her. Remembering how he destroyed the evil witch who killed his mother with his touch, he runs out of the house and goes to Zero, asking her about the meaning of things his mother told him before her death. About never approaching someone who possesses the same eyes as him, she reveals that his father is 13 and her brother, making her his aunt. She further explains they inherited their father's special eye color. She explains that his mother's warning was because of his father. His father wanted to have a son that could have infinite magic power and transferred that power to Zero. His mother found out about his father's plans and decided to run and hide to save her son at his insistence. Zero tells him that 13 is a rationalist and Sable is his model in good aspects, but 13 sacrificed countless lives during the war, and because of that, history holds him as evil. She then reassures him that there is no danger in him relating with her and apologizes for all his suffering. She then offers to help him learn how to circulate and control his magic. For the next couple days, Sable uses his time to practice with his friends while teaching them how to control their magic, just like Zero taught him, and at the same time, he's using his father's book to learn and create several magic potions. Some time has passed and they suddenly receive a message requesting them to go back to the academy because the village will be attacked. Sable requests to stay in the village and fight back. He further explains they can use traps to disable the enemies, but Zero threatens to expel them. Sable says he will drop out from the academy under one condition. If his plan works, the academy will take him back as a student the next day. The blindfolded man orders to evacuate the villagers while they prepare for battle. A few days later, 10,000 soldiers start to invade the village to attack. But they are caught in different traps that the students made, forcing them to retreat. Suddenly an army of Beast Fallen starts to attack. Gaining access to the village by defying the traps, the groups try to confront them. Zero gathers the students to regroup and they unleash their final battle tricks. Sable uses his eye technique in A1. On one battle with the beast fallen, he attacks him with his eyes and touches his hand, completely destroying the beast's arm. The battle soon comes to an end after Zero casts a spell that kills every beast fallen in an inch. After the battle, Sable goes to see Zero and thanks her for her help and training while returning the book to her. Zero insists that he should keep it, but Sable mentions it's her book. He explains that she will understand the book if she converts the number 13 into 0. Zero bids him and his friends farewell, and the students return to the academy.
Thank you for sticking around until the end. Subscribe for more videos like this.